not only says that he's not going to do anything, that is, act as the lender of a last resort. The governments should do it, and he also suggests to them a ridiculous recipe. Balanced budgets. Unbelievable. So, I'm sorry, I had to jump ahead. So that is the problem, says Trichet, huh? That is the problem. And deficits, of course. Let's look at some numbers. These are not published by none else than the International Monetary Fund. Okay? So one conservative place, if there is one. Let's look at the numbers. These numbers are from the September 2011 World Economic Outlook. Nothing more recent than that in the world. You want to see what the recession is going to be 1 year from now in Italy? Make a note. Some of you, please, make a note. And then you write me a message. When you write a message for Christmas next year, you say, by God, Mr. Everywhere you write. The recession is beastly. That's what you've done to Greece. You never know, right? You have three unknowns, you don't have three equations. No way you can get up with a correct conclusion. You don't know whether it is stupidity, ignorance, or greed. Now, you induce a recession in Europe. Well, of course, first thing people are going to drop is the bullshit fashion things. That's obvious. And they keep buying reasonably priced items from the rest of the world. That is obvious. But also reasonably priced goods from the rest of the world will suffer. Countries as a whole don't seem reasonably, it doesn't seem reasonable that countries as such are going to enjoy out of the suffering of other countries. That you've done to Greece. This we have done to ourselves. This is Mr. Tremonti, huh? This is Mr. Tremonti. This isn't bad, though. This is not really bad. I look at these people. This is ridiculous. But they are selling it to each other. Perhaps. Now look at deficits. Do the statistics on deficits square with the current ideology? I mean, who are the people with the big deficits? Greece, certainly. They had it. Italy is falling. But there was no austerity measures taken in this period. So the deficit is shrinking, even though over this period, austerity measures are not being adopted. Now look at these other people. I mean, look at these numbers. I mean, this is the United States. This is where the preaching comes from. You should balance your budgets. Balance yours. Show me. Be a good example. No, I can't. Because, you know, I have a very, how shall I put it, unbalanced healthcare system, and I have to spend $11 billion in 9 years because I want to rebalance it. Oh, right, okay. So you want an unbalanced budget, right? Okay. Why not Spain? What's wrong? As they say in Italian, due pesi e due misure. Two different ways of weighing things. So look at these numbers. Bang! Good, right? You understand? Don't think about individual countries anymore. Ain't no Westphalia anymore. Our debt is not bad either. Deficit is not bad. Debt is not bad either. Imagine that the United Kingdom is generating, the United Kingdom government is generating such a recession that in 2012 it will be at least 95%. So we are not so strange if we think in terms of Europe. Remember the starting point, huh? The starting point was nation states are commercial policy, we don't have it anymore, right? Monetary policy, we have one. We are, from the point of view of money, we are one. Interest rate policy, same. Fiscal policy is different. So change this. This is what is missing relative to the nation-state paradigm. It is fiscal policy. Now look at what Soros says. The euro crisis has its origin in German Chancellor Angela Merkel's decision taken in the aftermath of Lehman Brothers default in September 2008, that the guarantee against further defaults should come not from the European Union, but from each country separately. Now, I don't know why German economists, the relevant ones, not the ones that work in Germany, okay, the relevant ones, this is amazing, the relevant, important, worldwide important German economists are not in Germany. Of course, they are in the United States. Ludwig Dornbusch was hating the Bundesbank. He was not German. Soros, who is Hungarian, he's Hungarian, but you know, he's an Austro-Hungarian empire, remember, because he hates Angela Merkel. Oh, it's not that good, it's not that good. Ulrich Beck. Have you seen Ulrich Beck sulla Repubblica a few days back? A few days ago? Really? He's so against Germany. He teaches, I told you, sociology at the London School of Economics. He's German. He was an advisor to Gerhard Schröder, and he's so against Angela Merkel. Poor woman. What's the problem? Oh, yeah, okay, she was a communist. Hey, come on. Who didn't sin in his life? Have you ever seen? You have? Yeah, George Soros doesn't hate you, though, eh? I don't know why. He hates Angela Merkel. It was a decision. Let's not put names on things for the moment. Rescue Greece. We have to bail out Greece. And I was going mad. I mean, the poor man has lost all his hair listening to this. Greece needs to be bailed out. Meaning what? When did the solution come? It came in Cannes on the 4th of November, when Mr. Sarkozy said, we have called in the banks and told them that they were going to take a 50% haircut on their holdings of Greek bonds. He was very specific on that press conference. He was very clear. We didn't call the banks for consultation. We called the banks in to tell them that they were going to take a haircut of 50% of their holdings of bonds. Okay. So we are beginning to move from aid to a new treaty. I'm not saying that this is the end of the bad things. I would say the other thing around. But on the 20th of, this is not offensive for anybody, of course. There's a quick way of making a point. I remember writing a piece on the 20th of August, the title of which is The Coup d'etat of the Middle Summer. It was the two of them, Sarkozy and Merkel, right? They gave a press conference and they said, without Greece, there will be no euro. Who had told them to go out and say that? Not the conference of the head, the council of the heads of state or prime ministers. No, they hadn't done it. And then they did it again on the 15th of September. When they said, in a press conference, with no mandate from the council, when they said, we without a euro, there is no euro. So this is the birth of a consciousness. These two are beginning to realize that without Greece, there is no euro, and without euro, there is no euro. So Greece, you knew that day, on the 16th of August, you knew that something was going to be done for Greece, different from what had been done up to that point, which was killing their people. Now, of course, we have, journalists that are very funny, and they talk about a Merkozy government now, right? You read it anywhere, right? The Merkozy government. It is not a government, and possibly this time I take the point, it is not necessarily a Merkozy government. Probably it is a Merkel government, and the poor guy does something different from everybody else. You see, everybody else has to show their budget. He doesn't have to, and he holds the flag, so he's a bit asymmetric. It is a bit funny, all this, of course. It's not offensive in any way. Perhaps there is an emerging elite class in this country. We are doing it because the markets are forcing us to do it. We should have done it 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We had to wait for this big crisis and the generation so much suffering to move along, but perhaps we are moving along. That was the Franco-German axis, and this is the Italian axis. This is a beautiful thing, isn't it? I mean, imagine. Well, first of all, you have a government made up of normal people. I mean, these people are normal, okay? They've not spent half of their life in jail. They're not pushing immoral behavior. So, you can trust them. I'm not sure. Yes. Now we have one in the central bank and one in the government. What are they doing? Exactly the wrong thing, both of them. Exactly the wrong thing. One says, day after day after day, the central bank will not act as a lender of last resort. We will keep buying bonds if and when we decide it is appropriate, and we'll do that in limited amounts and certainly not indefinitely. Speculation enjoys that very much. So the man is wrong. The other guy does what he's told he should do. He should balance budgets. That's the madness that's going through Europe. He's balancing the budget. Taxi drivers don't agree, but everybody else seems to agree. Italy. Europe is looking for a way out. It's taken 2 years. But now we are doing it. You see, the problem is not that these people are balancing the budget. That is wrong. The problem is that they're trying to act as one. And all the analysis says act as one. So that's important. What about Italy? Why is Italy an opportunity in this historical scenario? We come from a history of low labor productivity. When you set labor productivity in 2002 equal to 100 for all the countries, country by country, you see that there is only one country where productivity has decreased. That is devastating. Whose coffee is that? You cut this, huh? They want to kill me. They dislike me. They hate me. I'll drink this other one. Ha! Productivity is falling. Productivity falls. Per capita income falls. Welfare falls. Quality of life falls. So that's our big problem, first big problem.
We have to work on that. Productivity.